What is up, everybody? Welcome back to I Want Entertainment, Gamers Paradise 2, Level 2. We are here with Garrett for his survival level confessional. So let's rewind just a little bit. All right, let's bring me back to the time and place in Garrett's mind when Phyllis is debugged. Survival level was picked by a huge margin. The selection process itself, and then maybe anything that occurred with you game-wise, like after the survival, like the Zoom was over, and then everybody went back to Discord. Like, what was the game like for you during that whole spiel?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is because I've been busy driving a lot since for the second debugging, and so I asked a few people what their thoughts were on like the next level to choose, and I heard survival a lot, but I heard other things. But I never heard everyone's doing survival. You probably should pick that so you don't look out of place. And so I picked random, but honestly, I'm kind of glad I picked random because it kind of fits my personality anyways, that I would pick something slightly different, but not like something that would like be game ending. So I'm okay with the pick, but I also was just like, okay, well, it sounds like there's something brewing here that I'm not a part of, which was really eye opening. But then survival actually kind of worked out because it confirmed a lot of my guesses on who trusts who. A lot of guesses that I'm not really a fan of. Hold on one sec. I got this crazy dog. I won't stop barking.
Oh, you're good. Don't worry about it.
What's your deal? Are you all right? All right. But yeah, so it confirmed my suspicions in terms of the lines that might be drawn. And they just got confirmed more today. And so now I'm in a really interesting spot that and we'll see how we get out of this because I'm not a fan of where the line's getting drawn. And I don't think anyone should be a fan of where the line's getting drawn, but no one's saying anything just yet. So yeah, we're in an interesting spot for sure.
All right, so how are you feeling about your position? Like, I know the first weekend of the game, level 1, you were at the family reunion. We all obviously like super duper appreciate you trying whilst being away. But like now that you're back and more present, like I've seen you on calls, I've seen you trying to like sort out things and try to unearth some stuff that you weren't able to over the weekend. How are you feeling about your position and what do you feel like is going on?
Well, I feel okay about where I'm at. I am afraid because it's early and the first few votes are very momentum based and not alliance driven that I could be just taken out early just because of that. But I feel like I have enough people in my camp, especially enough loud people in my camp. I got Sharonica that I think would back me up and a few others that I think would at least defend me enough to where, and they're like all at people that are on different kind of spots in the game. So I feel good about my protection right now. But I am aware that there's stuff that are going on without me, which is okay, honestly, at this point. I don't really want to be at the top. I kind of like being at the bottom for as long as I can. So if I can coast at the bottom of the hierarchy right now for as long as I can, but not at the very bottom to where I get voted out, then I'm fine with that. I think that would take me a decent way. And then I just got to lock something in halfway into the game and I should be okay. So it's a little nerve wracking because that means a higher chance of me going home at the early votes, but I think it'll work out in the long term.
Who are like 3 people you're feeling the most comfortable with right now?
I don't know if I have 3. I would say if I had to choose 3 that I would trust the most, I would say Sharonica would be one of them. The problem is I know that Sharonica is a very loyal player, and I think she's already determined who she's loyal to. But I think I'm slowly getting in there, so I feel good with her. I would say feel good with Autumn and Tyler. I think I got to go with those two. I know Tyler is a very smooth player, and that can be dangerous, but I feel like he will trust the fact that I'm not much of a spiller, and I think long term, I think Tyler would be good as an ally. Romeo, I think, would also be a decent one, but I just haven't gotten a chance to talk to him too much.
Right. And who are three people, if you had to choose, that like the sooner they're out of paradise, the better it is for Garrett? This could change,
that
but
list,
just like right now.
yeah,
That
that
was
list
longer
is
than
much longer list for that one. Papa, I think, is number one. I'd say Billy's up there. I kind of knew what Billy was doing beforehand. I knew that Billy and Sharonica were trying to do something together as a duo and trying to downplay the fact that they knew each other. So hopefully I've split that up and I've risen above Billy in terms of Sharonica's trust level. But Billy, I don't think will change his play style. I think he's very much the kind of person that is an information trader. And so if you give him information, he will trade the information. And I don't really need that in my game. Papa, I think it is one that he just says whatever he wants. And he's just chill about saying whatever. And it's a coin flip to whether or not he will keep the information hidden or he will just spread your information. And so I don't really play games on coin flips, so I have no intention of playing that. And if I had to pick a third that I would like out of this game, I would say Brandon. Brandon seems like somebody that he will say what you want to hear, and he will say that to everybody. Nothing from what I've heard from him makes me feel like that he has any intention of keeping me long term. He just is okay with anyone going. And so I don't see any loyalty in that. He seems like a more cleaner player, so I'm fine with that. But I'm not fine with the fact that it seems like he's okay with anyone going at any time.
All right. So the survival level occurred, or the selection process rather. Tasha was left up there, or Tasha's left unlinked, Benny's left unlinked, and King is left unlinked. Tasha wins Corruptor late last night. She is the last link in the chain. So tomorrow night at the debug report, it is either Benny or King. And best case scenario for you, what occurs to leading into the third level?
The vote doesn't matter too much to me. I don't see either of those players as players that I can work with long term. They're too quiet in general, so they just float under the radar. So I'm fine with either going, and the second one probably has to go relatively soon as well, because I don't see how they benefit my game staying in the game at this point. I haven't seen any value. But I'm more worried about after and the next round, because clearly there's enough people here that are agreeing to what levels to play next. Pretty much everyone but me. And so the next level will be determined probably sometime tomorrow. And the lines are finally going to get drawn. And that's where I'm more worried, because the lines won't get drawn now, but they will get drawn next time. And so I want to be in a position to where either I can rewrite that line or I'm on the right side of the line. So.
Right. How do you feel about your overall position?
What's up?
How do you feel about your overall position?
I feel good. I think I'm in a spot where I can still have a voice. Maybe I'm considered threatening, but I get the feeling just now I should be okay. And once I start hearing people worried about me being too honest or too blunt or too open, I'll start calling out specific people that I think might need my help. So usually if I ever see that I might be gaining momentum as a threat, then I start teaming up with other people that I know would gain momentum as a threat and start working with them. As of now, I don't think that's happening, or I hope it's not happening. But yeah, so I feel like I still have a lot of outs.
All right, I'm good on questions. Drew, Zach, do y'all have anything you want to throw at Garrett?
I don't have anything.
I would just ask, by the time of the eviction debugging, whatever we call it here, do you have any goal by then, or any person that you're like, okay, they're on my list. I need to talk to them. I need to do this. Is there a specific thing that you have your mind set on doing?
100%. No, there's a big problem right now, I think, that's occurring that is dividing the group relatively by race, and either it's intentional or unintentional, but either way it's happening. And I think the game being played with that kind of line can be very dangerous, both for not only for play style, because then that limits options, but then also I think it could get personal, it could get emotional, and I think it could get messy. So my number one goal by far is hopefully to talk to a couple people today, open some eyes, and let people realize that this could be a really unfun game in a second if this is what we want to do. So that's 100% my goal coming the next day.
Garrett's so fucking good.
What's that?
That was just such a good answer. I can't. Good job on that. Yeah, excited to see you maneuver through the rest of this level and the rest of the game. Obviously rooting for you. And yeah, do you have any questions before we hang up? What's expected by like tomorrow's deadline, not deadline, time of starting and stuff like that of all the festivities?
I don't think so. I just have something going on Saturday night, so I think I should be good. I think I talked to Drew and he said that chances are there's nothing required Saturday night. So
yeah, we're just gonna, if anything, we'll post the challenge that's due by Sunday night.
okay,
So you'll have Sunday to do it.
sounds good. No, that's it. I'm good.
All right, perfect. Garrett, you're all set for your confessional for level
sorry,
2,
hold
and
on.
we.
What'd you say?
Yep. No, you're good for your confessional for this round. You can vote. Your debug will